Caitlin Clark to the New York Liberty? Confirmed? You guys? The photo circulating went viral of Caitlin Clark in the bowels of the Barclays Center with Liberty coach Sandy Brondello and Breanna Stewart.
The basketball world is in a frenzy, and for good reason. What began as a routine post-game tunnel exchange has erupted into the most talked-about story in women's basketball. Caitlin Clark, still under contract with the Indiana Fever, was seen in what looked like a private meeting with New York Liberty stars Breanna Stewart and Sabrina Ionescu alongside head coach Sandy Brondello. Now speculation is running wild.
Well, we're going to talk about this little scene that took place after the Fever game last night in New York between Sandy Brondello and Caitlin Clark, the New York Liberty, and the agent. The agent. That is what makes this so...
After the Liberty's dominant 98-77 win over the Indiana Fever on Wednesday night, something unprecedented unfolded in the tunnel of Barclays Center. Caitlin Clark, sidelined by a lingering groin injury, didn't suit up but still made the trip to New York. That choice raised a few eyebrows. What happened next set the entire basketball world ablaze.
Many people is insinuating that Caitlin Clark could be trying to plan the outs of Indiana. Yes. People is already saying that Caitlin Clark could be trying to get the hell out of Indiana.
Clark, accompanied by her agent Erin Kane, was seen engaged in what looked like a focused, deliberate conversation with Liberty head coach Sandy Brondello and franchise stars Breanna Stewart and Sabrina Ionescu. The optics were impossible to ignore. This wasn't a casual hallway run-in, it was a calculated sit-down between a rising superstar, her representation, and what many consider the gold standard of women's basketball organization.
A WNBA team that have been very, very, very much in, like, they made it clear that they want Caitlin Clark, or they're eventually going to want Caitlin Clark. Along those lines, they made it very, very clear. And that team is the New York Liberty. And today, we have just seen the New York Liberty players, after the game, meeting up with Caitlin Clark. It is Stewie, it is Sabrina Ionescu, there is Sandy Brondello. And by the way, Stewie is not leaving New York the rest of her career. That is one thing that I will be 190.
Clark and the Liberty players shared smiles and laughter, creating a viral moment that sent fans into instant speculation. For a player who's often battled hostility on the court, seeing her at ease with the Liberty's leadership was a refreshing image for her supporters and a chilling one for Fever fans.
New York Liberty sent the blitz. Sandy, Sap, and Stewie are all talking to Caitlin Clark in the tunnel. So my guess is this right here happened at the conclusion of the game. This, my friends, is currently going viral all over social media right now. That is Caitlin Clark immediately after the game. Now, what's crazy is that her team lost the damn game, but Caitlin is all smiles. She's all smiles.
If you're enjoying the coverage, make sure to subscribe. Now, let's be honest about what's really happening in Indiana. The Fever came into the 2025 season with championship ambitions. Launching a bold Now You Know campaign that promised dominance, they added seasoned veterans like Dana Bonner and Natasha Howard, hoping to build a title contender around their franchise star. But the reality is far grimmer. Sitting at 12-11, the Fever are a team still searching for an identity. Injuries have taken a toll. Clark has already missed 11 games due to various ailments, and even when she's on the court, consistency remains elusive. One night they look like legitimate contenders, the next they're getting blown out by teams they should handle with ease.
This is how it starts in sports. This is how it starts in the NFL. This is how it starts in the NBA. When you start seeing the wheels in motion, there's signs. There's signs before eventually a player gets traded. A player eventually marks their next destination. The Indiana Fever, you're on notice. You're on notice. You better recognize what you've got going on, the asset in front of you, and you do whatever you have to do to correct what is happening.
The organization's handling of Caitlin Clark has been questionable from the very beginning. The WNBA launched an investigation into alleged fan misconduct at a Fever game, only to come up empty. The league's response to Indiana's fan base, the same one that has driven record-breaking viewership and attendance, has been tone-deaf at best. On the court, The issues are just as glaring. Head coach Stephanie White has insisted on molding Clark to fit into her existing system, rather than building a system around a once-in-a-generation talent that's not just a missed opportunity, that's coaching malpractice. When you have the most marketable player in the league, you don't force her to adapt to your scheme. You build the scheme around her.
Today, imagine getting on national TV, being paid by ESPN, paid by CBS, and have the nerve to look at the viewing public, lie to them, and say the Indiana Fever are more dangerous without Caitlin Clark. I'm curious, are those same people going to be on TV this evening, tomorrow morning? Are they going to look in the camera and double down on the Indiana Fever are more dangerous without Caitlin?
Now let's contrast Indiana's chaos with what's happening in New York. The Liberty aren't just the reigning WNBA champions, they're a franchise built to dominate for years to come, with a core trio of Breanna Stewart, Sabrina Ionescu, and Jonquel Jones. They've assembled what many rightly call a super team. Head coach Sandy Brondello is a proven winner, a two-time WNBA champion who consistently leads her teams deep into the postseason. Her coaching philosophy is player-centric, designed to elevate talent rather than restrict it. She puts her stars in positions to succeed instead of boxing them into rigid systems. The Liberty's roster construction only reinforces the philosophy. They've surrounded their stars with complementary pieces who understand and embrace their roles. Natasha Cloud brings defensive grit and veteran leadership. Leonie Febick adds international versatility and flair. Even their bench, with players like Kennedy Burke and Maureen Johannes, is loaded with championship experience and high IQ. But the most valuable asset New York has built is its culture. Stewart promised to bring a championship mentality to the franchise, and it's shown from the top down. The Liberty are focused on more than just winning, they're building a dynasty.
I think the obvious issue is Stephanie White is so stubborn to fit a circle in a square peg instead of utilizing the strengths of the team. And she probably felt relief because Caitlin Clark was hurt, that, oh, this is my time, I could introduce the culture and the system. And some actually bought in. And then when Caitlin Clark comes back, she doesn't know how to use her.
Now imagine Caitlin Clark running point for a team that already features Breanna Stewart and Sabrina Ionescu. The basketball would be pure poetry. Clark's elite court vision and playmaking would unlock even greater dimensions in Stewart's all-around scoring and Ionescu's deep shooting. The offensive potential? Unprecedented. It wouldn't just be entertaining, it would be historic. But this potential pairing goes far beyond the hardwood. The Liberty play in the nation's largest media market, backed by ownership that understands how to harness star power. Clara Wu Tsai and Joe Tsai, who also own the Brooklyn Nets, have made it clear they're building more than a team. They're building a destination, from state-of-the-art facilities to elite coaching and player development. Their investment dwarfs what most WNBA franchises currently offer. Then there's the arena itself. The Liberty play at Barclays Center, one of the premier venues in all of sports. The fan experience in Brooklyn isn't just better, it's on a different planet compared to what Clark sees in Indianapolis. This is a franchise that knows how to spotlight stars, create a winning environment, and attract top talent. From a basketball standpoint, the fit is seamless. Clark's transcendent passing and basketball IQ would elevate the Liberty's offense to a terrifying new level. Stewart and Ionescu are already elite scorers. Now imagine them with a generational point guard setting the table. The spacing, the ball movement, the shooting, it would be a nightmare for opposing defenses. A team that can launch from anywhere, with three of the league's brightest stars at its core. That's not just a title contender. That's the blueprint for a dynasty.
But the Liberty have shown her love. We've seen that as a bit of a theme. There was the moment between Stewie and Clark when Clark came back from injury the first time. And then there were some nice words. I missed the moment myself of them posted up there for a second. But there were some nice words from Liberty coach Sandy Brondello that I did capture. And I thought The
league office has to be quietly panicking at the idea of Caitlin Clark joining the Liberty. The WNBA has long prioritized competitive balance, but a Clark-Stewart-Ionescu trio would tilt the scales in a way the league has never seen. This wouldn't just be a championship contender, it would be a juggernaut. Clark led the league in assists as a rookie while also ranking among the top scorers. Stewart is a two-time champion and former MVP who can dominate at multiple positions. Ionescu is a three-point sniper with a growing collection of league records. Put them together, and you're not just penciling the Liberty into the finals, you're etching it in stone for other teams. The race might feel over before it even starts. But here's the twist. The WNBA might secretly welcome this outcome. Clark playing in New York would bring an avalanche of media attention, skyrocketing viewership and primetime relevance. The Liberty would instantly become the league's marquee team, with every game turning into must-watch television. And while dynasties may frustrate rival fan bases, they captivate the public. Sometimes, one dominant team is exactly what a league needs to break through to the mainstream, and the Clark-led Liberty could be that breakthrough.
I think there is a 50-50 chance Caitlin Clark leaves Indiana after her rookie season. No, after rookie season, after rookie contract is up. Because I have a feeling that with all the restricted free agency and everything, I think they're going to try to get rid of all coring out of the CBA. I don't think coring is going to be a thing. I don't think coring is going to be a thing in the CBA. And obviously, look, you're going to have to core players. And they're going to have to core Aaliyah a year earlier than Caitlin. And if they're scared Aaliyah's going to leave, and if they're like, oh, we want to core and trade Caitlin, then Aaliyah leaves for nothing. And Caitlin leaves for nothing. So it's a bit of a weird one.
V10. The elephant in the room is whether the Liberty's tunnel interaction with Caitlin Clark crosses the line into tampering. Under WNBA rules, the league enforces strict regulations prohibiting teams from engaging in direct communication with players under contract to other franchises. Violations can result in fines, forfeiture of draft picks, or other significant penalties. But here's the challenge: the line between casual conversation and tampering is notoriously blurry. Players and coaches interact all the time post-game. What makes this situation murkier is the presence of Clark's agent Erin Kane, which raises legitimate questions about the nature of the conversation. Still, without audio or undeniable evidence of recruitment efforts, it's unlikely the league will take disciplinary action. A tunnel conversation, no matter how suspicious, is difficult to prosecute under league standards. That said, the optics are undeniably damaging. A star player and her agent having what appears to be a private meeting with rival leadership moments after a game sends a clear signal the current system may not be working. It suggests that players and their agents are already exploring future opportunities, even while under contract. Whether or not rules were broken, the message is loud and clear.
People is insinuating. They're insinuating that Caitlin Clark could be trying to get the hell out of Indy. Now, I ain't gonna hold you. Your boy John Liquidator I definitely want her to get out of Indy, bro. And it's this photo right here that is really heating up. I mean, this one right here is really breaking the bank, bro. Look, Sandy Bordello got her hand all on Caitlin, bro.